Hey guys, my name is Chap and I'm a senior.
And I'm Megan and I'm also a senior. Well, today we're going to do like a sit down kind of talk and chat about what it's like having the literal same best friend for basically the entirety of your life.
Yeah.
And like how much we've changed and how much our lives are going to change because we are both seniors. We're both like gotta grow up, gotta be like get out there and like live our separate lives, I guess you could say.
We asked some people to send us questions, but I guess we should start off by saying like how we met. So everyone knows.
So here's the story.
So both of our moms were teachers, and there's a woman named Judy who
It's an angel.
is an angel, and she babysits the kids, typically of teachers, during the day, and kind of runs the same schedule as like a school teacher because most of her clients, I guess, were school teachers. And we were put in there when we were like 1 or 2, and yeah, ever since then we've been friends. So.
But I genuinely don't know what attracted us to be friends. I think we were just put in the same area in such a young, like, age. But the weird thing is we kept that, like,
Which is
like,
not.
Chap and I think we immediately both, like, just attached to each other.
Yeah.
Like, it was sort of a thing that it's just, like, we weren't, like, we didn't, like, think about the friendship. We just immediately became, like, Chap and Reagan. Like, which was weird.
We got voted cutest couple
In preschool, cutest couple.
Insert picture here. Anyway,
we became basically, like, we morphed into honestly the same person. Like, I remember this one time, Chap, you hit your head really hard on something. And either I didn't like the Chap was getting the attention, I think I felt bad that he hit his head. Not a lot of people can say that they still, like, are best friends with someone they met at that age. Like, sure, you're like, a lot of people are like, this is my childhood friend.
yeah.
No, like, Chap is my,
from preschool.
no, like, Chap is my, like, best friend, like,
Yeah.
to this day, like 17 years later, like, I don't, like, think of Chap as my childhood friend, I think of Chap as just my best friend.
Yeah. And that's just like, I guess, the perks of growing up in like a small town. Like, you know, we have one middle school and one high school, so and there's different elementary schools, but like eventually we all come together, and that's like, those are the people that we spend
The rest
sometimes
of our public
entire
school education with,
the
at least. The weird thing is that, like, I just think it's so abnormal, and everyone else, like, that we've talked to about, like, I guess we don't think it's that big of a deal because, like,
that's just like what we know.
it's just our lives, like, this is just my best friend, but, like, people are, like, super fascinated. I think that's why we're making this video, is people are super fascinated as to, like, I don't know, just, like, how we've maintained the friendship and just.
And I also think it's rare to have like a platonic friendship that's like boy-girl friendship. That's like not, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't dabble in that, but it is like different because.
Yeah. And the weird thing about that is I don't think we ever got like, oh my god, are you all dating? Like, I couldn't tell you, like,
never.
even when we were like middle school, like, we never got the like
Pre-come out.
pre-Chap coming out. No, we never ever got the, are you all like a thing? Like, are you sure like you don't have feelings for him, or like, are you sure you don't have feelings for her? Like, you are always together. Like,
never.
No one ever asked that to either of us because our friendship was, I think, just so genuine.
But I think it's also because like we spent so much time together, like it just became known, you know, that I was just like a part of your family and you're a part of mine.
Yeah.
Like even Braxton, Reagan's older brother, it's like the three of us just spent so much time together that like
we became family.
Yeah. So that's basically the story of how we met. And we'll get on to the questions. First question is, what's one of your favorite memories together? You can start out.
Can I tell the G.I. Joe story? This isn't one,
Oh,
this
yeah.
This isn't one of my favorite memories of us together, but kinda is, but just of chat. When we were in preschool, like, this is just a story I remember so vividly for, like, who knows why. Like, I guess it was like Secret Santa
Yeah.
when we were in preschool, and someone got Chap, and they gave Chap a G.I. Joe, and Chap was not happy about that. So, like, meanwhile, like, I opened up my Barbie in front of Chap, and he just started crying, holding his G.I. Joe by, like, the foot, just staring at me while he was just, like, tears were just, like, streaming down his face. And I looked at him, and he was just like, I don't want this. And he had, like, his G.I. Joe, and he was just throwing it down.
Like, what the hell?
So, like, I, like, toddled over to him, and, like, I just handed him my Barbie, and, like, that's just what we did.
My favorite memory of us together, like, came later on, and we did this pretty frequently. It was, like, around middle school, early high school, but yeah. So we lived, well, she still lives there, but I've moved since, but we both, like, lived out in the country at the time.
Within, like, a mile from each other.
Yeah, it was, like, 2 minutes away.
Obviously, neither of us could drive, but...
Yeah. But every snow day, like, without fail, every snow day, unless, like, one of us was, like, sick or something, like, I would be at their house. Like, there was no question about it. Like, I was going to go to their house.
Not even, is Chap coming over?
Like,
it's a snow day. It's a snow day.
Yeah,
Just
like, I'm going to
cue
their house.
Chap.
But we would always do, like, the weirdest stuff. Like, just, like,
But it was so
I mean, we were,
fun.
yeah, but we were, like, country kids with nothing to do. So,
Yeah.
like, one of my favorite memories, or just, like, something that I'll never forget, is when Braxton broke his leg.
Oh my gosh.
And we, like...
And he had, like, a cast up to, like, his hip. Like,
Yeah, it was
huge.
like a huge cast. And we both knew that he was so just, like, sad
So
about,
crazy.
like, not being able to do anything, because he's, like, he was a basketball player, and, like, it was depressing him that he couldn't, like, go out and play sports with his pals. So we were like, let's just make his day better. So Reagan at the time had a trampoline, and we were like, we were jumping on that trampoline, like, we were having the
We
time
had
of
our
our
little, like,
lives.
boots and snowsuits on, and we were just
Yeah.
going at it.
And-
like,
But we were gonna get Braxton on that trampoline, like, if it was the last thing we did.
I forgot about this.
So we got a trash bag
Like, 3, actually.
and tied them around his cast and, like, put one over his leg
Duct tape, too.
and duct taped this like, these trash bags to his leg so he could get on the trampoline with us. And, like, looking back, like, he couldn't even jump, so, like, what was he doing on the trampoline?
How did he even get I don't remember
We
how
pushed him up, like, we literally, like,
That was probably all
he
you
was
do.
in his wheelchair and we pushed him up, like, with both of our tiny selves, like, pushing him up, like, our hands just, like, on his butt, just, like,
And keep
throwing
in mind,
him.
my brother's, like, he's 3 years older than me, and I guess 2 older than Chap. So, and he's a pretty tall kid. Like,
Yeah.
he's not beefy, but he's really tall, like, taller than both of us.
Well, and that cast also made it,
That cast was so heavy.
it was so heavy, and I just remember us just, like, pushing him up
Like,
onto the
all our
trampoline.
might.
The second question, sort of,
Mm.
is tell us an inside joke no one would understand.
Oh, too many.
I mean, I guess it's not necessarily, like, an inside joke, because I'm sure some people know this, like, it's like a reference to something. I won't explain to keep it as much of an inside joke as possible. But, you ever drink Bailey's from a shoe?
You ever drank Riley's from a shoe?
Or, or was it Braxton?
I think it was Braxton.
I think it was Braxton too, because we put his head in a box.
Yes. It was around Christmas time, and Braxton just got a canoe.
And we were like, That's what you get when you put two kids with severe ADHD in one room.
This video is just gonna be Tom and I just like bouncing around the walls like from like 5 different conversations. Just like
We're having like our 6 personalities are having 10 different conversations.
okay, that's one. Ah!
Next question is say the first word that comes to your mind. So I'm
About you.
guessing
Oh, you're gonna guess
Just in,
what
like,
word
general,
in my brain.
like on the count of 3 we say like the first word that comes to our brain. And it just can be anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
give me a
my word that I'm
category.
already. I feel like it should just be random because it's say the first word that comes to your mind. If it's not the same, we're gonna look like idiots.
We're probably gonna look like idiots. When do I not look like an idiot? I mean, right now I look like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
I think so. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna put that movie. I'm putting that in there. 1, 2, 3.
Potato. Good enough.
Woo! Twins. Now we're getting into the deep questions. 3 words to describe each other.
I'm out.
Oh my god. Okay, so the next question is 3 words to describe each other. You first.
No, you first. I went first.
Okay.
Don't think too hard.
Caring,
Okay.
stylish, and goofy.
You thought so hard about that. The brain.
Because there's a lot of things to say about you. Okay.
Okay.
Your turn.
First one I'm gonna say is unique. Inspiring, for sure. To literally everyone around you, but inspiring for sure. And you're just kind. Like I'm tough with you perfectly.
Okay, sometimes.
Yeah.
I kind of have a hot tongue, but
But it's just for people. Here's the thing. It's for people who are unkind to others.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
This question is so like it's so gut wrenching. The next question is how have they changed for the better? Your face is so red right now. I guess I'll go first. So I just feel like this year you've especially like blossomed. I feel like you've become more like aware of like like the issues that you experience. So it's like it's something that's more like prevalent, I guess, in your life. Like it's something that you experience more often, but you're like aware of it and are educated on it enough to like know how to cope or know how to like convey your feelings to other people to let them know that how you're feeling so they can like help you like accommodate yourself to your environment. And I feel like that's a really like hard skill to develop. Instead of just like completely shutting down, your like immediate reaction is to like say like how you're feeling. And maybe sometimes you don't like recognize it. And it's not always necessarily positive, but it is like you do like recognize what you're doing. Like you're aware of like how how you're acting. And I feel like even though it's like really cathartic for you to like talk about and like feel, it's like hard for you to feel the way that you do, but it's also like you're you're aware enough to like say like this is what's happening to me, like I'm gonna like deal with it, you know? Like you don't push it off. Yeah. You're not an avoidant person at all. But like
I feel like that's a lot. Honestly, this year like has been just such like a year for me to just like
realization.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped doing something that made me
sick.
yeah.
But
I feel like I just like morphed into like
more of yourself
yeah.
for sure. And people who experience the things that you do, which sets you apart from other people, is like you wear your scars on your sleeve kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a problem talking about like mental health and all that stuff. And a lot of people who do experience the things you do and at the severity that you do, it's like they don't talk about it. And they don't like talking about it. And I'm not saying that you like talking about it, but it's like
I think you've seen that like because I didn't talk about it for so long, because
yeah.
like you've seen me like crumble into myself
Legit,
for so long, and I just felt like I like even just this year like I didn't talk about it for so long, and now you just see me like
yeah. It's just you're just getting better, which is really, I mean, that's I guess the answer to this question is like you're getting better.
oh.
And that's how you've changed, you know? When you come out from under toxic environments and toxic people, you realize how much like of a terrible place you were in. And I think that's where you're at, and like that can still really mess with your head of like knowing how awful like of a time you were having, but then like coming out of it, you still have to grieve for that part of yourself. Does that make sense? Like you have to be like, okay, that girl is gone. Like I'm a new me, and that's a really like jarring, scary feeling to experience.
Oh,
and it's
sure.
at a time where you're also going into a completely new place. Like you're just at the same place, but like different things. Does that make sense? Like you're like coming into your new self and going into a new.
Under construction in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like you're just like a lot of new things are happening to you, and like that's really hard to not know what you're doing, you know?
Yeah. It's how you have changed for the better, and honestly like something like I can't explain it. Like don't think you weren't a good person before, you've always been the best. But through like when you're friends with someone and you have the relationship that we have, like you go through everything with that person. There wasn't a time where Chap like didn't know what was going on with me, or Chap didn't know or I didn't know what was going to happen. Like we weren't like by each other's side, going through honestly going through it all together. How he changed for the better. Chap has always been very, very aware of everything. Like Chap's been like, I feel like I don't know, you've always been more woke than me. Very woke. But, gosh. I don't even know, like, you've changed for the better in so many ways. Like, you are more accepting of yourself, which is one thing that I really, like, I really enjoy, like, watching you grow and watching, like, you succeed, but, like, just accepting yourself and knowing that, like, it's okay to be, like, whoever the heck you want to be, like, I love, like, you've changed for the better in that way, in strides, and like you've obviously changed for the better in that you literally like your creativity is just like astonishing, and like you've changed for the better in that like gosh, you're just like your craft is just become so like amazing, and you're still working on it obviously, but like seeing you do things like Chap's play that he wrote, which was amazing. Like I think you changed for the better because you've just like, you're obviously still on the road to accepting yourself, but like you've accepted yourself so much more. And like I love seeing you do that, and honestly like you change for the better because you don't let people's comments like bother you, or like it's just not like a thought to you, like, and it may be deep down, and which I obviously know it is, but like you, to the outside eye, like you just, which is what you have to do sometimes.
Yeah. What is something you hope for the person you go first? I'm the first Austin.
I don't want to cry. I have so many hopes for you. Like I'm literally like, honestly, like I have dreams for you. Like, the biggest thing I hope for you is that you find something to do that you were just completely in love with. Like you find something like in life that you're just so passionate about, like whatever it is, that just makes you like, I hope you find something that just makes you like so happy, like something that you just like are so in love with it. I hope someday in the future, whenever you be, that you find someone who just like perfectly matches you, and that like, you just fall completely in love with a great person, like, because you deserve it. That's one of my biggest hopes. Like that's another just big hope for you.
I mean, I think any friend that I have, like I have a lot of hopes for just like people in general. So, of course, I'm gonna have a lot of hopes for you, but I think that like my main hope for you is to like just be happy, you know, like in life, because I know that like you've had like a really hard time the last few years, and like seeing that as like being on the outside, like looking in on a situation like that is like really, I mean it's like it's heartbreaking to see like somebody that you love like not be okay, because you sort of feel like stifled, like you can't do anything, or like what's the right thing to say, and you know like you can never know, but like you know, I just like yeah, that's just like my main hope for you is to just like find peace in the world and like in life in general, because there's like a lot to explore, you know, like just like contentment, I guess, to just like be at peace in your mind. The next question, put y'all down my hair.
What happened to my head?
I don't know. Something you've learned from another person.
Wait, check.
I'll go first this time. I feel like such a YouTuber. Sorry guys, my camera cut off. But yeah, we have another deep question. It's what have you learned from the other? Like what have I learned from you, and what have you learned from me? And I guess what I've learned from you like piggybacks off my last answer, and it's like how to be more nurturing, I guess, because I've always been very like, I enjoy like being by myself, and like I'm very like independent, like I'm such a Capricorn, it's ridiculous, like I just want to like I want to do things my way. I know that I've had times where it's like confusing, like when when it first like really started to come to like fruition, like all of the things that you've gone through, like it was very like I've experienced some of the same things, but like, or some of the same feelings rather, but like it was very hard for me to know like how to help, like how to be there, because I knew from personal experiences that it was like a journey that you have to like go in and out of yourself. But also, even just like minute things like what's the right thing to say, like how do I encourage her when she like is doing well, or like how do I like, you know, like ask her like, can I give an example?
Yeah.
Well, just like I know that like eating disorders is something that's been like something that you deal with, and like that's such a tricky subject matter because it's so like controlling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you've taught me more about that, so you know, like I can you know judge like what's going on and how to approach a situation and when to not approach a situation, and just like kind of what to say. But that's what you taught me, is just how to like be a good friend, honestly.
Gosh, one of the biggest things that I have learned from Chap in all our years of friendship is do not give a crap about what people think about you.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things you taught me, and we talk about this a lot, is like,
Yeah.
if
Well,
someone
just the other
is
day,
like,
I know
yeah,
what you're talking about.
if someone is like being rude to you or making fun of you, and you've experienced this, like,
Yeah.
that's them. And this is such a hard thing for me to get through my head because I don't know, like, I didn't understand it for a long time, that like if someone is making fun of you or like just being rude to you, like that is them working out their own issues on you, which it shouldn't be like that. Like people obviously shouldn't treat people like that, and many people treat you like that because they can't handle like dealing with, or just dealing with their own issues.
Yeah.
Like, but like that other people's issues on you might just be like them like working out their own issues by putting it on you, like making comments towards you, or like
Yeah.
just like putting their stuff on you, which I never thought about it that way, if we're being honest, until Chap like was like, you know, that's just like them deflecting their own like crap onto you because you just like, I don't know, you just don't deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and another thing that I said to you, and I think what you're trying to get at, is like when people see themselves in others or parts of themselves that they don't necessarily like or accept, their reaction's always negative. Just because you know something doesn't mean that you're gonna execute it well. Like just because you've been taught something.
I think watching, like this goes back to our friendship, just watching Cap and I change together and like just morph into honestly like two completely different people. Like you're so different from who you used to be, and I think I've changed a lot from who I used to be. Like, but
also it's like our hearts are the same, you know.
Yeah, our hearts are like very the same. Chap and I are very like kitty spirits and like very like wild and free kind of like mindset, you know.
And I think that like people forget how to come back to their spirits too, you know, like, and I think that's another like thing that we always bring out of each other, which is possibly why we've been friends so long, is like, I mean, as soon as we're together, it's like preschool again, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question is a little bit random, but what's our biggest pet peeve about each other? But I am having trouble thinking of one.
I know what yours would be about me. see if I was right.
But
My biggest pet peeve about you, you do not give yourself enough credit. And it makes me so mad. Like,
yeah, you're probably right.
y'all, when I say, like, Chap will do something just, like, amazing, he'll just be like, and I'm like, dude, like,
Yeah. I
like,
guess that goes back to
and I feel like I'm always
perfectionist
your
thing.
hype man, and I'm like, dude, that was, like, Chap just amazes me in so many ways. Like, I can't even explain to you guys, like, how much, like, I love watching this kid just do everything he does. Like, he absolutely just amazes me, like, with everything he does. Talented little brat.
Thumbnail.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm so sick. If you guys can't tell, I am a little sickly right now, so I've been hacking up lungs.
We've talked about this before, but like, my biggest pet peeve is like having to like combat your negative comments about yourself.
I was right.
Yeah. Just
I knew
like,
that's what you were gonna say.
and like these are definitely a bit more minuscule than like some of the other things that I was talking about earlier, like knowing when to cope, but like just like your empty insults to yourself, like have it
Like the automatic insults.
yeah,
Like,
automatic, just you've desensitized yourself to that language.
Mm.
But I think I'm fighting back on that a little bit.
yeah, you are.
I can feel it. But yeah, that was the
That was best friend tag. Like
That
and
was the best
subscribe
friend
if you
tag.
liked it.
like and subscribe below.
Press that bell in the top hand corner if you want to win prizes
no,
from
it's-
us. Is it
the
done?
bottom right.
I don't watch to you.
Bye.
Bruh. Play a song so I can dance. Play Bestie on Tatiana. No. It's inappropriate. No, it's not. Bro, we're about to graduate. Like, we're out of here. Miss Schwartz is not gonna care. That's not right. That's by DJ. Is there like a clean version? So at least we can. We just need the chorus. Blueface, baby. Is that what it's called? No, that's by Blueface. Where is it? What's the song called? Tatiana? Yeah. Are you sure? I think it's inappropriate for that. Pick it up. Break it down. Oh my god. Bessie. Bye guys. Is this right? Wait. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Whipper County, for being the sole reason I have the bad sleep schedule for the past 4 years. Thank you. Thank you, Chap, for being my best friend. You know I'm weird. Thank you, Reagan, for exposing me to really weird combinations of food. Yep. Wanna make out? Yep. Oh my god. Sounds like a gunshot. She got bronchitis after that. Willow Smith who?